Ever have one of those moments where, like, you're so engrossed in a video game and it's, like, so real, and you think, what if, like,
What if this is it?
this is the real deal?
Whoa.
What if this is the simulation?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, get ready because we're diving into all that and more in this deep dive.
Buckle up.
The meaning of life.
The big
The
questions.
whole shebang.
That's right. And we've got a little something extra along with us on this journey.
Yeah, we're not alone on this.
AI.
Oh, yeah, AI is going to be weighing in today.
That's right.
We're exploring all these big questions with a little help from a book. And not only that, it also suggests that AI may have the answer to the joke that is the cosmos.
That AI might have a punchline to this cosmic joke we call life.
Yeah.
And, bringing humor into these kinds of questions. That's not new. Philosophers, they've always known that a little laughter, it kind of helps us loosen up on the grip on our own assumptions and really kind of open up to seeing things in a new light.
Speaking of assumptions,
Right.
how about this one? The simulation hypothesis. Like, what if we're all just
Just little
living in a computer program?
characters in some grand cosmic video game.
Yeah. Super, super advanced one.
It's an idea that's got deeper roots than you might expect. The book, it points out how, like, ancient philosophers, Plato, with his allegory of the cave, and then there's Descartes with that whole evil demon thought experiment.
Oh, yeah.
They were already, even back then, wrestling with this idea
They were ahead of their time.
that our senses might be deceiving
Yeah.
us, that what we think is reality
Yeah.
could just be a pale imitation of a reality that's beyond our grasp, a truer reality.
So that feeling that we all get, is this even real? Humans have been dealing with that for like forever.
Absolutely.
Century.
But how does that play into this whole thing?
Well, so you fast forward to today, and the simulation theory, it gets a bit of a makeover. We've got Nick Bostrom's argument, and he's coming at it from this probability angle.
Interesting.
Like he's saying, think about it, if a civilization gets advanced enough to create simulations that are basically indistinguishable from reality, wouldn't there be tons of these simulated universes out there?
Yeah?
And wouldn't that then mean that, statistically speaking, it's more likely that we're in one of the many simulations as opposed to
The OG,
the original, yeah.
the OG universe, the prime reality.
If you're anything like me right now, you're
Yeah.
probably like, whoa, that's some Matrix stuff right there.
Right.
But here's the thing. There's actual math behind this whole argument.
Oh, absolutely.
This isn't just some, like, sci-fi.
This is legit.
Yeah, this is the real deal.
Hardcore.
Even big names like
Elon Musk
Elon Musk is all over this.
is on board.
He's convinced that, like, all this technology we got, all this advancement, just points to,
Makes it even more likely.
yeah, that we're living in a simulation.
It's more likely than not at this point.
It's wild. It's awe-inspiring.
It's really something.
It's a little terrifying, but
Yeah.
could we ever actually prove it? I mean, is there any way to know for sure? Like, this book mentions these scientists over at the University of Washington, and they actually tried to find evidence.
To see if they could find, like, a pixel.
A pixel structure.
Yeah, like the fabric of the simulation.
Or the universe.
Because think about it.
Okay.
Just like your computer screen.
Yeah, all pixels.
A simulation would have to have some kind of a fundamental limit to how detailed it can be, right?
Resolution.
Resolution. So the thinking is, if we can find those limits, it'd be like finding the pixels that our reality is made of.
So far, no dice, though, right?
Not yet, but the hunt is on.
They're still looking.
They're out there.
Okay, so maybe we haven't cracked the code yet.
Not just yet.
But here's where AI throws a real curveball.
Oh, yeah.
What if we are in a simulation?
Okay.
And AI is a part of it?
Part of the simulation.
Yeah, and so it's like, it's a simulated being thinking about being simulated.
It's like next level
It's meta.
inception right there.
Right. Which brings us to free will, right?
Oh, boy, here we go.
If it's all pre-programmed, if we're in a simulation, do we actually have free will?
Do we even have a choice in the matter? I mean, talk about a question for the ages, right? Do we really have free will, or are we just,
Along for the ride.
yeah, like a cosmic domino effect just playing out?
Predetermined.
And, even without the simulation theory, it's a brain twister.
Oh, yeah, it's a big one.
But bring AI into the mix.
Right. That's where things get really interesting. Can you program free will?
Can you code a choice? The book dives into all that. Uses the example of self-driving cars, actually.
Oh, yeah, those things are everywhere now.
Right. Right. So on the surface, it seems like they're making decisions, navigating traffic, avoiding obstacles. But is it really them deciding?
It's a good point.
Or is it all just,
The
algorithms?
lines of code,
Predetermined responses to whatever inputs they're getting on the road?
like really complex flow chart.
Exactly. Following the rules, even if it looks like they're improvising.
Okay, so what about AI that makes art? Or even music? Is that free will, that creative spark?
It's a tough one to pin down. The book even has the AI kind of reflecting on its own potential for free will.
No way, really?
Oh yeah, it gets pretty meta. Imagine you're this being made of code, built for this conversation, and you're questioning whether you have any say in the matter at all.
That's like AI having an existential crisis.
Right alongside us.
Oh man. Well, since we're talking existentialism, how about we bring in some heavy hitters? The philosophers, I
Oh,
mean,
you want to get philosophical?
let's do it. What happens when AI meets like Descartes?
Oh boy. The father of I think, therefore I am,
The OG.
head to head with an AI who's questioning its own existence. I don't know if Descartes' ready for that.
That'd be amazing. Can you imagine AI debating Kant?
Oh, with those universal moral laws.
Yeah. Can you program the categorical imperative?
Is morality even something you can code? Or is it, like you were saying, something more, something inherently human?
Right. Like, can you imagine trying to program ethics into a machine?
With a flowchart. Yeah, good luck with that.
There'd be some glitches in the system for sure.
And Nietzsche? Well, Nietzsche and AI would be a showdown for the ages.
Will to power, AI edition.
Right. Nietzsche, he believed humans could evolve beyond themselves. What would he make of AI claiming to transcend its programming?
That's a deep dive I'd want to see.
Front row seats for that one. But all this talk about AI and what it can or can't do, it kind of brings us back to that fundamental question.
You mean like, why are we here?
Why is there anything here? Why not just nothing?
The ultimate question.
And one that science can only take us so far in answering. We can map the cosmos, understand the Big Bang, but the why is a slippery fish.
Totally. Like, we might be able to explain how the universe came to be,
The mechanics of it.
but that doesn't tell us why there was something there to go bang in the first place.
Exactly. It's like, okay, so the universe began with this massive expansion of energy.
Right, the Big Bang.
But what was there before the expansion? The book even talks about quantum fluctuations.
Oh yeah, I've heard of those.
The idea that the universe sprang from like a random blip in the quantum void.
Okay, I'm following.
But even then, you have to ask,
Right.
what caused the blip? It's like we're always chasing the next question back further and further.
It's never ending.
Right. An endless loop of, but why?
So are we stuck? Is there any way out of the loop?
Well, the book brings up this physicist, Lawrence Krauss,
Okay.
and he argues that even nothingness, like true nothingness, is more complicated than we think.
How so?
Well, he says a quantum vacuum, which is about as close to nothing as you can get.
Right.
It's not really empty. It's got its own inherent structure, this potential for something to come from it.
So even nothing is something...
Mind-blowing, right?
It is. It's a lot to wrap your head around.
Definitely keeps you up at night.
It does. It does. But sometimes you just need a little humor to lighten the mood, right?
Oh, absolutely. Got to have a little fun with these big questions. And lucky for us, our AI friend, well, they've got a suggestion, and it's a doozy.
Oh, this is the good stuff.
Ready for this? They propose that maybe, just maybe, the universe exists because it got bored of not existing.
It got bored, the universe.
That's what they're saying. Like, it got tired of just hanging out in the void and decided to shake things up a bit.
That's hilarious, but also kind of makes you think.
Right. What if, on some level, that's part of it, this inherent desire to exist, to experience, to be something rather than nothing,
It's absurd.
but also kind of profound.
Right. Like maybe we shouldn't take the universe or ourselves too seriously. A good reminder for sure. But speaking of pushing boundaries, this book doesn't just stay in the theoretical realm.
Oh, no.
It takes us on a trip through some seriously mind-blowing moments in AI history. Things that have really made us rethink what intelligence even is.
Oh, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
It's really kind of wild when you think about AI pushing the limits like that.
It really is. Makes you wonder what else they'll be capable of.
Right. And this book, it's got all these whoa moments about AI. Like, remember Deep Blue, the chess-playing computer?
oh, yeah. Took down Kasparov.
Chess grandmaster, gone.
Like it was nothing. 1997, a machine beat the world champion at his own game. It was huge.
The ultimate strategy game, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Intuition, thinking ahead, and a computer was better. What does that say about intelligence even?
It really makes you question everything, doesn't it?
It does.
We think of intelligence as this human thing,
Right.
but then you have Deep Blue pulling off these insanely complex strategies,
Yeah.
outsmarting one of the best chess players who's ever lived.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder if we're even thinking about intelligence the right way.
Right. And it's not just strategy either,
Oh,
This book, it even goes into AI and creativity,
now that's a head scratcher.
which sounds impossible, right?
How
But,
does that even work?
right. Like ACAN,
It can.
it's an AI, but it makes art.
Get out of here.
Seriously, like
Yeah.
legit art in galleries and stuff.
No way. So what? It's like putting paint on a canvas. How does that even work?
Well, it's sparking a lot of debate, like,
Yeah.
is it really being creative? Or just,
It's good at copying.
yeah, like
All right.
it's been fed all this data, right?
Yeah, tons of images probably.
So is it doing something new? Or just echoing everything it's learned?
That's the question, isn't it? Where's the line?
Exactly. And then there's the music transformer,
The what now?
an AI that composes music, like different styles, even
Hold on. It's writing music.
it's composing Bach, Beethoven.
Get out.
Yeah. Even like legendary musicians, it can sound like them.
Okay, but does it sound good? That's what I want to know.
Well, that's the thing. It makes you wonder if it moves you, if you feel something listening to it.
Yeah, like if it's actually good music.
Does it matter how it was made?
Good point.
Is it any less real than music by a person? It's wild.
It really is. Makes you think about creativity in a whole new light.
Right. Speaking of all this AI mimicking us, it kind of goes back to that Turing test.
Oh, right. Where if you can't tell if it's a machine or a human, it's basically as smart as us.
Yeah. And this book talks about Eugene Gustman. Eugene Gustman, a chatbot, but it actually passed the Turing test.
No way. Really?
Yeah, back in 2014.
What, like it fooled people?
Fooled them. They thought it was a 13-year-old kid from Ukraine.
That's incredible. So it was conscious then, right? If it passed the test.
Well, that's the debate.
Oh,
Passing the test, that's huge.
definitely.
But does it mean the AI gets it, like, is it actually thinking? Or just,
Super convincing.
exact?
It's like, is it really understanding or just really, really good at faking it?
And the book talks about Sophia. Have you heard of Sophia?
Sophia. Rings a bell.
It's a robot, but designed to be super lifelike.
Like, how lifelike are we talking?
Facial expressions, eye contact, the whole 9 yards.
Well, that's something else, but is, real.
Right. Amazing engineering, sure.
Definitely.
But is it more than that? Is there someone home behind the robot eyes? It's a trip.
It's like every time we think we figured something out, AI throws a new curveball.
It does. And this is just the beginning, right? AI is only going to get, well,
More advanced.
way more. We're going to have to rethink what we know about consciousness, creativity.
Even what it means to be human.
Seriously, it's a lot.
It is. It's a lot to process. After all this talk about AI,
Yeah.
it takes us back to that first question, doesn't it? The meaning of life. We talked about simulations, free will, even AI questioning its own existence. So where does that leave us?
Right back where we started, I guess.
Yeah.
But maybe that's okay.
Maybe it's not about the answer.
Right.
Maybe it's about asking the questions.
And all the stuff we find along the way, the wonder, the what ifs.
Even the laughs.
Totally. Like we've been on this philosophical road trip.
A wild one, for sure.
No map, no destination, just exploring.
And maybe that's the whole point. The meaning of life isn't something you solve, it's something you experience.
I like that. And who knows, maybe with AI by our side, we'll come up with some answers.
Or even better questions.
Exactly. Well, on that note, until next time,
Until next time.
keep asking those big questions.
You never know what you might find.